Hi, I'm Corinne Lesh with EdScoop, and I'm here with Michele Eaton. Michele, thanks for being here with us.
Thank you.
So why don't you start by talking to us a little bit about what the top technology priorities are in your district?
Well, right now, in my current role as Director of Virtual and Blended Learning, we're spending a lot of time with our curriculum department on looking at what blended learning looks like across the different populations of our district. We already have a fully online high school and several blended programs and initiatives going on for alternative settings, and we're really starting to look at what blended learning looks like for the general classroom, and so what that spectrum is, and how to best utilize it, when to use it. So that's kind of our big focus right now, at least from my lens.
Mm-hmm. And you had mentioned that you oversee a totally virtual high school, right? And then there's also a night school?
Yeah, we have Achieve Virtual Education Academy is a public, non-charter virtual high school, so it's just the third high school in our district. And we have a principal, and my role is to kind of oversee curriculum development and professional development for the staff. And then the blended initiatives, we have varying programs. So we do have a night school that allows students to come into a lab setting. They can choose what days they come in. They come in after hours from the traditional school day. We have 4 certified teachers leading the online classes, and then those students can come in face-to-face to get some additional support. Teachers are pulling small groups, working one-on-one, providing additional support on top of the online classes they're taking. We use those online classes for lots of different initiatives. Our credit recovery labs across the district are not using canned programs. We're using the online courses that our teachers have built for our online school. We have some alternative schools that are using the online classes. It allows students to come in at different times during the year at different places, and we're able to meet their needs using the staff that we have available.
And how are you sort of crossing over from that into using blended learning in general classrooms?
Well, we've had a lot of interest in it from teachers. We've been doing some forms of online learning for several years in our district, and so teachers are starting to see the types of flexibility it allows when you're using technology in really intentional ways. You have the ability to free up your time in the classroom to do more meaningful interactions with your students. So our teachers have been really interested in how we're using that alternative model, using the online classes to think about how they can maximize their time with their students in their own general classrooms. We're working really closely with the curriculum department as well. We've been doing some book studies and some professional development, and really working alongside them very closely on how this impacts the curriculum that is developed. As we move into our LMS platform is kind of 3-pronged. It's an LMS. We're replacing our curriculum mapping software using this tool, and then additionally, we're also really invested in integrating third-party content so that all of the content is available single sign-on in one place. And so that's really allowed us to kind of merge departments and not stick to the silos that we sometimes run across, where you have your technology silo and your curriculum department, and really working together to no longer kind of separate technology as something on top of what we're already doing, but to really embed it into what's going on in our district.
And what sorts of specific technology tools that have you used that you found really helpful?
Well, we try to be device agnostic. We have some one-to-one initiatives throughout the district. We focus a lot on Chromebooks, but we have tablets and BYOD and other schools. And so for our professional development, it's always been really important to not focus on specific apps or specific software, just because the types of devices that our students have varies depending on the building, or what devices they are allowed to bring in as well. So we try to find things that are device agnostic. We spend a lot of time in our LMS. We use EdSlearning as our LMS platform. And while we do go through what we still call textbook adoption, it's really turned into electronic resource adoption. Our curriculum department is very intentional about making sure that the resources that we purchase and subscribe to meet the interoperability standards that our LMS requires. So all of those go into one spot too. So it's really all about making it easy for teachers and students to access content, to search for it. So instead of teaching all of these different publisher content websites and platforms and how to search them. You know, if we can put them all into one place and you learn how to search in that one location, it becomes a lot more manageable for our teachers. Our students aren't having to memorize a bunch of different logins, so that's nice. We're also pretty heavily invested in Google Apps for Education because of the number of Chromebooks that we have available. Even before we went one-to-one with Chromebooks, we became a GAF school district because it really just allows us to do the things we like doing, the collaboration between staff, the real-time feedback we can provide students. It allows us to do those things more efficiently, more effectively.
Great. And how did you come into your role, and what advice would you have for up-and-coming CTOs?
Well, so coming into my role has been a really interesting journey. It kind of fell into my lap, honestly. In a previous life, was a second grade teacher, and when I was getting my master's degree, I came across this completely online program, and it was on educational technology, and I was always kind of techie, but didn't have a full grasp of how to use technology in the context of learning as well. So I saw it and I was like, hey, that looks like something fun. It'll make me a better teacher. And that was really the extent of my thinking when I went into this field. I fell so much in love with online learning. When I went through this program, I think, even though I consider myself relatively young, my experiences before with online learning still were probably what a lot of us have experienced, which is not always so great. Many of us can think about times when online learning hasn't been implemented effectively, and unfortunately that had been my experiences in the past, and I came across this program that really it took all the things that everyone loves about online learning and why we implement the flexibility, the moving at your own pace, and I really saw what good online instruction looked like and became very passionate about it. So I started teaching at that university online following that. So I had this span of second grade experience and higher ed experience, and when my position was created, it was mostly secondary focused. So my boss had to trust me and kind of know my work ethic. I made some connections. Networking was really important. And a lot of it is learning as I go in this field of online learning. Everything is so new. That's what I love. I get to go to work and every day is a new adventure, really, as cheesy as that sounds. But so that's kind of where we are as the online initiatives and the blended initiatives really took hold in our district. My position was kind of transformed into the director position, and along the way, I've been really interested in technology leadership, and I hope to one day be a CTO. And really for me to realize that was even something that those leadership abilities were something that I had and that was a job that I could do, it was because I had great mentors. My boss, Pete Just, has been really instrumental in helping give me opportunities outside of the realm of my job description and getting me connected with organizations like COSIN and helping me prepare to receive my CETL. Those type of things have kind of pushed me in this direction and opened doors for me as far as educational technology leadership.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm Corinne Lush with EdScoop. Thanks for watching.